Now let's see how a typical international commercial arbitration works. We'll begin by meeting the key players in today's dispute.
The dispute involves three companies: Electro-Ace Corporation, Electro-Oceania, and Asianix. Electro-Ace Corporation is a leading multinational corporation incorporated in the United States of Amazonia. It has constructed and now operates electric power plants in several countries. Electro-Ace Corporation secured a contract through Electro-Oceania Private Limited, one of its subsidiaries incorporated in the state of Oceania, to build and operate the largest electric power plant in the state of Eurasia, with a capacity of 300 megawatts. Consequently, Electro-Ace contracted with Asianix, a supplier of power plant components incorporated in the Republic of Asiana, to provide several important components for the new power plant. These included pressure parts for the steam generators, coal mills and burners, and soot blowers. Asianix was also contracted for the subsequent maintenance and servicing of the power plant for a period of 5 years. Electro-Ace was to pay Asianix a total of $120 million for the components supplied, and a further $4 million each year for the 5 years of maintenance. The power plant was to be constructed in 2 phases, with Phase 1 turning fully operational before construction of Phase 2 commenced. Accordingly, Asianix planned to manufacture the Phase 2 components separately from those of Phase 1, and only after Phase 1 was completed. Phase 1 was completed on 1 November 2012, and at around the same time, Asianix began manufacturing the Phase 2 components. In September 2013, after massive public protests against the corrupt Eurasian government, the chief of the armed forces, General Dom, staged a coup and overthrew the government. A large number of contracts tendered by the ousted Eurasian government were reviewed and cancelled, including the contract with Electro-Ace. The contract was cancelled on 10 September 2013, and General Dom's forces took over the power plant's operations, stopping Phase 2 construction work indefinitely. Asianix's services for Phase 1 maintenance were also discontinued. Around the same time, it was discovered that a middleman engaged by Asianix may have bribed the former Eurasian power minister to strongly recommend Asianix's components and services to Electro-Ace. Meanwhile, Asianix had nearly completed manufacturing the Phase 2 components, and 6 steam generators worth approximately $9 million were already in transit, scheduled to reach the power plant site by 21 September 2013. Electro-Ace, however, having already recovered the bulk of Phase 1 construction costs from operations to date, decided to close shop and absorb the remaining losses. This left Asianix high and dry. Negotiations between the two companies proved fruitless for Asianix.
This is where SIAC comes in. How? Well, the contract between the parties provides for resolution of disputes in Singapore under the SIAC rules.
Clause 17. Resolution of disputes. 17.1. Any dispute arising out of or in connection with this contract, including any question regarding its existence, validity, or termination, shall be referred to and finally resolved by arbitration in Singapore in accordance with the arbitration rules of the Singapore International Arbitration Centre SIAC rules for the time being in force, which rules are deemed to be incorporated by reference in this clause. 17.2. The tribunal shall consist of 3 arbitrators. 17.3. The language of the arbitration shall be English. Clause 18. Governing law. This contract is governed by the United Nations Convention on Contracts for the International Sale of Goods, 1980. As we can see, the arbitration clause built into the supply agreement between ElectroAce, Electro-Oceania, and Asianix provides for an SIAC-administered arbitration, seated in Singapore, conducted in English by a panel of 3 arbitrators. After failed attempts to negotiate with ElectroAce, Asianix invoked the arbitration clause with a view to securing the following: A. Payment of the outstanding sum of $60 million towards manufacture of components for Phase 2 of the power plant project. B. Damages for losses suffered due to the premature termination of maintenance services with respect to both phases of the power plant project. C. Costs of the arbitration and legal costs.
We will see through the course of this video that ElectroAce files its defense and counterclaim on the basis that Asianix had supplied certain defective components, resulting in losses to ElectroAce. At that stage, they will seek damages from Asianix in the amount of $5 million. It is now early December 2013, and Asianix begins its quest for relief by filing a notice of arbitration with SIAC. This initiates the arbitral process.